Hello and welcome to Context. This is episode 4. It is currently the day before my birthday right now. And when I say the day before, I mean the hour, minutes before. When I checked the time right before I started to record, it was 11:11 p.m. on February 8th, 2022. No, oh my god. 2023. Oh my goodness. I'm still getting used to the new year. So my birthday is tomorrow and I am turning 22. For some people, the fact that I'm turning 22 is like a shocker because I have all this old soul energy, this wisdom and knowledge from my experiences that I've had here in this lifetime. In 21 years of life, like that's not a lot of time. But also at the same time, it's a lot of time. And younger me never really knew that I would be living till 22. You know what I mean? Like I never really imagined what it would be like. I never really knew, I never really had any expectations of what living up to this age would be like. I had a conversation with my roommate, literally earlier today. And I told her, I was like, I'm turning 22 tomorrow, yet. And then I couldn't even finish the sentence. I was saying, I feel, and she cut me off and she says, feel as though you're still 16. And literally, that's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, yes. I feel like I'm 16 years old still. Like, I don't feel like I've really, I feel like age, once I was 16, like every year, yeah, I'm older and I'm not the same person as who I was when I was 16. And I've grown so much. And I've learned so many things and evolved many, many much as a human. And I've definitely aged since 16. But what the hell is age? I don't know. I don't feel that much older, I guess, every year, on your birthday. Well, maybe not, but I find that every year I'm asking people, or I'm asked, oh, do you feel older yet on the day of your birthday, or right after your birthday happens? And I know I am older, but I don't feel older. So that was a funny conversation I had with my roommate earlier that I wanted to share. And so for today's episode, the context of me, part of that is my birthday and what I've done in my 21 years of life and moving into my 22nd year of life. And I do have some things that I was planning on saying in the 4th episode, but I decided I would film right now, record this right now, depending on if you're listening or if you are watching and listening. I want to address that in the 3rd episode really quickly. I said that every Sunday before I would be in school, I would have a anxiety or panic attack, and I want to address that. This was what I had labeled it at the time. I thought it was anxiety and I thought I was having a panic attack every Sunday. Sometimes it was. Sometimes definitely I had a panic attack or I was anxious about something in particular. But I feel like I would just have this, what I would call a meltdown or a shutdown. And this is something that I did not have the language for. And when I say a meltdown, sometimes it would be, because the term meltdown and shutdown sometimes are used interchangeably. And most people say, when having a meltdown, it's an outward behavior, you show that you're anxious or frustrated or upset about something and you just melt down. And it's a physical reaction caused by like sensory information or like sensory overload. And sometimes the overload was an internal thinking of all the stuff that I had to be doing in my classes that I just didn't want to do. Like, I just, like, all these things, you know, or I would get overwhelmed by them. And a shutdown would be internalized. So sometimes I would share this, like, with my friends or family, or I would, like, just cry. And to me, it felt like really, really, really bad anxiety. And so I would call it a panic attack, that I'm just like sitting there crying. And like sometimes I actually was having a panic attack, which I'm not going to get into what that looks like for me right now. We're 5 minutes in. We're like 5 minutes into this episode. I know this is kind of deep, but I just wanted to address this because I talked about this in the 3rd episode, and I needed to address this. But yeah, I would have both shutdowns and meltdowns. Like, I don't know the specifics of like how often and which one was which every week, but like every Sunday, I just dreaded going back to school. And this was the context. If you don't remember, if you didn't really listen in episode 3, I was talking about my relationship with the like academic schooling that I had prior to realizing and getting a diagnosis for ADHD, or for realizing that I was neurodivergent or autistic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a medical diagnosis for autism, but like the math is mathing. And like, I don't have, like, the medical providers I see right now, they don't deny it. You know what I mean? But so I just wanted to address that really quick before I continue talking about being 22 and the conversation my roommate and I had earlier. But yeah, just taking a deep breath. I wanted to also do some sound healing live. And when I say live, I just mean not edited in, like on episode, what was it, episode 2? Or did I think it was episode 2. I added sound healing to the end of the episode that was pre-recorded. So there's only the audio. You can't see me like actually doing it. So I'm going to do some sound healing, but because it is late, I'm going to try to keep it quiet. But the microphone will pick it up. So it doesn't matter, but it is a Wednesday night. It's not even Thursday yet. It's a Wednesday night. So I don't want to I don't know. It's a really light drumming. I don't know if my neighbors would be able to hear it, but I definitely hear my neighbors playing instruments. Like, the walls are not too thick at this moment. But my roommate was asking me if 22 was a significant age, like a significant milestone or number. And I told her, I said, the number 22 is significant to me, but not in relation to age. And she was kind of confused and asked me, like, is it like a lucky number? And I was like, well, like similar. Like, when I see 22, like if I see it somewhere, like it means something special to me, just like other numbers. Like, I had just seen it, and I remember it was 8:11 o'clock. Like, I had, before we had this conversation, and I had like turned to see the oven, and it said 811, which is an angel number for me. And I wanted to talk about angel numbers in this episode. So, and so I told her, I was like, just like if I saw a repeating number 333 or 44, 811, 22, these all have significant meanings to me, but not in a sense that they're all lucky, but they're all very special to me in a similar way, that when I see them, it means something different. And I told her it was less of something that's like a favorite. It's more so like a spiritual or a religious thing. And so that's what I would say angel numbers are for me. And if you're not familiar with the term angel number, a lot of people have started using this term to refer to numbers that are repeating, like 1111, 111, 1212, 1010, 1234, 112222, it can be anything, any repeating numbers, and they don't even have to be the same numbers repeated. Any numbers that you see in multiple places, whether that's you hear the number, you see it on a sheet of paper, and not like when you're looking for it, but like, if you just go check the time, oh, it's 7:11. You know what I mean? Like, that's another angel number for me. So I'll get into angel numbers a little bit more, but let's do a little bit of sound healing, because I just wanted to get grounded before I continue talking, and I just want to explain a little bit how sound healing works. I will set an intention, and you can also set an intention for what you want the sound healing to heal. And when I say intention, it can be any physical intentions, like if your neck is hurting, or if you've had a headache or something, or it can be physical, like in any way. It doesn't have to be like pain. It can be like for strength, like to help you gain more muscle mass at the gym tomorrow. I don't know. Like, you can set an intention for literally whatever you want, and it can be on a physical level, a mental level, an emotional level, a spiritual level, whatever you want. And it can be for the now, the present, it can be for the future, and it can be also to heal things in the past. And to accept the sound healing, all you have to do is listen. And it works on a subconscious level, and you might physically consciously feel the shifts, but you might also not. And you can close your eyes, you can open them, you can move, like let your body just relax. You lay down, sit up, stand up, walk around, literally dance and groove. And you can tap on your own body, you can play your own instruments if you have them, literally whatever you want to be doing. But I'm just going to set the intention for myself that this new year of my life has an abundance of health and security and stability and protection and safety and love and light and blessings and miracles and trust and faith and success and joy and bliss. And I'm like trying not to repeat anything, but I guess if I repeat it, that's fine too. And inspiration and creativity and art and pleasure and peace and grace and compassion and patience and abundance of being grounded and divinely connected. And may it help us all ascend to our highest, most divine, most brilliant, and greatest timelines that honor our desires and our needs. And maybe as well as our dreams and our wishes. And if not that, something better, something more magnificent or greater than we could have ever imagined. With harm to none, for the greatest and highest good of all. And just to ground us right now in this moment. And it's going to be a really short round of sound healing. And I might hum. Sometimes I feel called to hum. I'm going to move my microphone lower to the, so you can hear the drum. I am playing on, you can kind of hear me like tapping it. The steel tongue drum is what the instrument is called. And I'm going to begin. So just make sure you take a deep breath and that you're in a comfortable place. I'm just looking at like on the screen at myself. If you're watching, like I'm going to be adjusting accordingly to the mic. Like being out of frame a little bit. But yeah, let's get into it. If you're watching, you can see that I'm adjusting my my screen a little bit to move my microphone down. Just taking a deep breath. You experienced some live sound healing. The way that I do my sound healing is I'm adjusting the microphone, so hopefully you can, hopefully the sound's still good. The way that I do sound healing, the way that I've learned how to do it, I just was feeling drawn to buying this specific tongue drum, and it's in the key of D major, and I just play around with it. And I just kind of allow spirit, I allow divine to guide the vibe. Like I'm a musician. I have been studying the voice and music oh my god, for like a decade now. Since I was like 12. But I learned how to read music before I was 12 years old, but 12 years old is when I started taking voice lessons, and I played the trumpet for like 2 months in the 5th grade, and now I play piano, very basic level, as well as some guitar, but I self-taught guitar, and I'm actually currently taking some piano lessons through my last semester of undergraduate. There's like a 2-credit piano class that I'm in. Shout out to my piano teacher. You are awesome if you're ever listening to this. I love my piano teacher. He's awesome. So anyway, sound healing. The context behind why I wanted to do that is just to kind of give those of you who are new to me, I'm a new person, I'm a stranger, or if you know me and you're just not really familiar with my healing work, whether it's Reiki or sound healing, this is stuff I do on Insight Timer. And like I've talked about Insight Timer in like probably every episode already. Like I freaking love this app. And that's where I teach on a weekly, monthly basis, depending on the time of year. But wow, my eye is really itchy. Interesting. Yeah, so I do sound healing on Insight Timer like this, and I usually have a specific intention for each session, and usually it has to do with the energetic forecast of the week. Like I don't really get into it astrologically all the time, but just intuitively what I feel, what I am going through, what I know others are going through, like what the collective is really going through. Sometimes I'll like really know what's going on collectively. And I'll set intentions based off of that if I tune in and I channel what needs to be said. And when I say channel, what I mean is me, my body, my mind, my spirit. I am a conduit and a channel for this healing energy to come through. It doesn't come from me. I'm not giving you this healing energy. I am just the vessel in which I am channeling this higher dimensional light, this higher dimensional love. And the way that I channel is I ask my ego to step aside. I ask my higher self to come through. I'm itching my leg. You can hear my beanbag probably. Anyway, I call in my higher self. I ask my ego to step aside. And sometimes I'll call upon my spirit guides or team or ancestors, divine, whatever you want to believe in. And I just kind of let things flow through me as if I'm a channel. And I don't really even, I'm not not aware of what I'm saying, but it's not like planned. I'm not thinking about what's coming out. Like I'm just a channel. Like it just comes through me. And after I say it, sometimes I'm like, whoa, that was really powerful stuff. And like, cause I don't expect it all the time. Like I'm still getting used to the power of this healing energy and this magic that I carry. And I like to think of it like magic because I like to think of humans as magical beings, just as I like to think of the trees as magical beings and the earth as a magical space for beings to live on and to be a part of. So that's just a little bit about sound healing. And I wanted to share, as well as talking about like angel numbers and that connection to spirit, I want to share some of my journal. And I've had this idea that on this podcast that I would be sharing snippets of my journal from the past. And when I say the past, I just mean in the last couple of years with my spiritual journey, just like to look back at and some passages, some channeled messages and some meditations and stuff like that. I don't know if I would leave meditations on here, but just like to look through my eye is really itchy. And it's because I usually take allergy this is a fun fact about me. I take allergy medication pretty much every night because I have allergies to every season. So come take my meds with me. Yeah, this is a really fun fact about me is every night right now I take a vitamin B complex medicine, not medicine, supplement. And vitamin D and an anti-allergy like antihistamine. Oh. Cheers. Whenever I'm taking medication or supplements or whatever, I really always like to do 3 swallows of water. And when I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing like this is not like an OCD thing. Like this is not something I'm like, I have to do this. This is just something I like to do because the number 3 is really magical. And just to make sure that I'm really like flushing down what like any pills and making sure that I'm staying hydrated. It's a great way to remind myself to do so by like taking 2 extra gulps of water after the initial swallow of the medication or supplements, pills, whatever. So that's another fun fact about me. But what I was saying is I thought about this for a while. Also, I should address, I switched my pot and I rebuzzed the sides of my hair. If you're watching this podcast, you can like see I rebuzzed my hair and I have a plant behind me. I put new soil in this new pot. I went pot chopping for like plants. Um, excuse me. I bought a bunch of new soil and I repotted all of my plants, and I am very grateful for my lovely partner who drove us to both buy stuff from this floral. I don't even know what to call it, like a floral shop, like a plant store. I don't know. They had a lot of plants, a lot of gardening stuff. A gardening store. I don't. You can tell I'm not a plant person, but I'm a person who has plants. um, but I wanted to share something that I journaled. Okay. I don't have the date of this. Maybe, what day was this? Wow, I usually write the date. This was in January. Like, this was January of 2023. Possibly on the 16th of January. Okay, it was on the 16th, or it was in between the 16th and the 18th of January. And I wrote, I wrote this at 8:50 p.m. I opened up a bill for my hysterectomy, ... It totaled blank. And altogether, it was like the numbers added together were 1 and 7, and 1 and 7 equals 8, which is a number of abundance. I said, before I opened it, I knew it would come back to me in 1 million fold. Okay. I always like to say, like, if I'm paying money, or if I have a bill, like if I'm like upset about it, I'm like, it'll come back to me 1,000 fold, 10,000 fold. But I wrote 1 million fold on this journal. Go me for being ambitious. With harm to none, for the greatest and highest good of all. Thank you, universe. I am so grateful to live a life that is abundantly divine and safe and bright and magical and healthy and secure and stable and grateful and inspirational and healthy and growing and aligning with my highest, most brilliant, most desired and divine timeline. There's another word that I wrote here that I can't read. I said, I am grateful for my life and how I deserve to be living, with a little smiley face on the side of the page. And then on the next page, I wrote, things about me you would know if we were close. And the context as to why I was journaling about this is because I had a professor that would like scheduled a one-on-one meeting and was like, I just want to get to know you. And I was like, yeah, let me journal. Like, what would people know about me if we were close? I ended up not sharing this information, I don't think, during my one-on-one meeting with this professor. I'm going to keep it very, like, that's all the context I'm going to give. But I wrote, I'm ethically non-monogamous and practice solo polyamory for the most part, with a winky face. I love to write little, like, emojis and faces and draw in my journal when I'm journaling. It makes it more fun for me. It captures the energy of, like, the vibe I was feeling. But this is true. I do not practice monogamy. Me and my partner were ethically non-monogamous. We've been together right now for 2 years. They will be kept anonymous, just for the respect of their boundaries and my boundaries when it comes to this podcast. You know, not everything is going to be public here. Like, you can't, I have to save some things for myself. But anyway, a lot of people, when they first meet me, they don't know this about me. And so I'll talk about my partner, who uses they, them pronouns, I will say. If you're talking about my partner, they use they, them pronouns. Please be respectful of that. And I wrote on the next page, I love to love, and I love to hear about other people's lives and create genuine connections. And some of those connections are in a more romantic or lustful way. And I date other people who practice polyamory or ethical non-monogamy. So there's a lot of different terms. Like, some people see polyamory as more of this like dating couples, or like couples dating couples, like a throuple or quadruple, or like a polycule, whatever. Like there's like all these terms, but to me polyamory is just like I see more than one person, I love more than one person. I have the capacity to be in love with multiple people, and um I don't just, when I am dating somebody, I am not monogamous and only seeing them for the rest of my life. And I used to practice monogamy um, up until I was almost 20 years old. Like until I was 19, I was practicing monogamy, um, for my entire life, because that's what I was taught. I heard about open relationships growing up, but like I never really got into it. But yeah, so I love to love, and sometimes I love people who also love other people, and I'm not a very jealous person, so this lifestyle for me, everyone is always asks me, like, one of the first questions, a lot of people who find out that I'm um the acronym ENM, ethically non-monogamous, um and they ask me, like, don't you get jealous? Like, how do you deal with jealousy? I mean, I'm a human. I have jealousy. Like, I do get jealous, but I'm not a very jealous human. Like, if I'm jealous of my partner, if they go on a date or something, I'll say, "Hey, I think I'm feeling a little bit jealous. Can you tell me some affirmations about, like, do you love me? Like, you still want to be with me? Can before you go on your date tonight, like, can we cuddle for 15 minutes before we leave? I just want to have more physical touch." Like, I communicate my needs and my wants, and sometimes my partners or people I've dated have been like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, awesome." And sometimes they're like, "Uh, I I like, can we do it another time?" Like, um, or like we like compromise on, not like compromise on my needs, but if I have a want of something, and they're doing something else with somebody else, and I'm feeling a little bit jealous, they're like, "Listen, whatever." Like, I don't know. I'm not going to get into specific examples. Maybe I'll talk about this another time. But anyway, um, I date other people. This I'm reading my journal again. The context for those of you who aren't seeing me like reading my journal. I date other people who practice polyamory or non-monogamy, and some of my best friends I've met through dating apps. Like, I don't know if this is like a queer culture thing now in the modern day that we are in 2023, but like, I go on dating apps and I go on dates with people to like vibe check. Like, do we get along? Do you want to be friends? Is there more? But I find a lot of my close friends right now, like, I've met through going on dates with them. And I kind of love that. I think it's really funny. And so when people ask like how we meet, it's like, "Oh, through this app," and they're like, "Hmm?" I'm like, "No, we're friends." Like, it didn't work out romantically. Like, the expectation of when we hung out for the first time was not, this is a romantic date. It was more so like, let's just see the vibe. But like some of my friends, it was a romantic date the first time, and then we just figured out we weren't going to work in a serious long-term relationship, so we just decided to be friends instead. But sometimes I still kiss my friends in a platonic and, like, I don't know, sometimes there's like lustful energy or sexual energy there, but like, it's not, I'm not dating my friend. Like, we're just friends, and like we share intimacy sometimes. Um and as long as it's consensual and as long as we are being honest and communicating, I have not really found a problem with my lifestyle. And I'm going to knock on wood, because, oh boy, I mean, as somebody who loves genuine connection, also, I said I was maybe not going to talk until my birthday happens, but there is like 10 minutes until midnight. But I just wanted to finish talking about this journal entry and sharing this. And then I was thinking maybe I would end this episode for addressing some other things that I had written down on my list, and then also like being 22. Yeah, and then I said, thank you, universe, for the dark moon. Oh, this was on a new moon. So my life is full of synchronicities, and I can't read what else I wrote underneath that. There are no wrong moves. And then I wrote down a lot of questions, like with the new moon. And yeah, like I started to journal about like what people should know about me. And the first thing that came to my mind was that, because it's a big part of my life. And I wouldn't say I'm very like picky when it comes to people that I date. Like I don't have a type, but my type is somebody who also practices polyamory and is able to communicate honestly and openly about their needs and their desires and what they look for in a relationship and what they know works for them. And if they don't know yet, that they are open to figuring it out. And like if I'm asking them questions, that they're not closing off to them, like to ignore me, or that they feel uncomfortable communicating to me. Or if they get triggered, like it's okay to meet new people and get triggered and share that vulnerability with one another. I think it's a really beautiful thing with just genuine connection, is how vulnerable we can be as people, and how we can share this love that's unconditional, even if we don't know each other. That's something anybody can do for anybody. And I love getting to know people, and sometimes it works out where you date somebody for a while and it's awesome, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And even if you date them for just a little bit of time, I love to have gratitude for whatever amount of time I spend with somebody, regardless of if it like quote unquote works out, because every relationship has an end. And everything changes, and that's life. And life is the only there's a quote like, the only constant is change. Like in life, the only thing that is constant is change. And I love this quote. I don't know if that's the exact quote. I don't know who said it, but it really resonates with me. And as I change, as I move forward, as I grow into this new year of 22, and what that means for me. And I never got into talking about angel numbers, but 2 for me, the significance right now is 2 plus 2 is 4. And 4 is a number that reminds me that I am divinely protected, and my angels, my guides, my spirit team, my ancestors are watching over me, and I am loved, and that like they are proud of me, and that I should keep going and keep striving for my desires and my needs, and breaking these generational, ancestral, societal bonds of trauma and just expectations that I don't need to follow anymore. And I know that's a lot to put into this one number of 4, but like that's just like an example. But 2, finding your balance, making sure you're grounded. Like that's what resonates for me right now. And then I want to say the meaning of an angel number is, it's unique to every individual. Your meaning of 1111 is not the same meaning as mine. Maybe on some days we might have the same meaning. And when I see angel numbers, the meanings of them change. It's not always that 222 is find your balance. It's not always that 4 reminds me, being proud of myself for doing this healing work. It's not always like that, but that's just what it is right now, right here in this moment, what I'm thinking of, what to confirm that for myself. Like I have specific numbers that I know are from I know it in the sense that when I see it, this is what it means for me, is like when I see 727. If you're close with me, you know, my mom and I, we see 727, and that's a sign from my mom's father, my Saba, which means grandpa in Hebrew. Saba, spelled Saba in English. That's how I spell it. Anyway, so 727 is the number that my mom and I both see to say. And it's not going to be 27 minutes in the podcast, but for the sound healing, I started a new recording, and now we have been recording for 27 minutes, which is a perfect example of a synchronicity and a confirmation from spirit for me. I was not looking at the time. I didn't even realize I had been talking for 27 minutes until right now. And of course, as I'm talking about 727, you can't make this up. You know, like sometimes spirit really, divine really puts these synchronicities in alignment so that we can see that we are on the right track. These angel numbers, these are just synchronicities. Seeing the same number is just a synchronicity. It's not, I mean, it could be a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Y'all, my birthday is in a few minutes. That's so exciting. I kind of love my birthday. It's in 4 minutes. My laptop says it's in 2 minutes, but my phone says it's in, now 3 minutes. Okay, episode 4. It's party time. You're gonna witness me turning 22. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting to do this. I was gonna call a friend maybe tonight, but we will see. Oh my gosh, I wish I had like one of those like noise blowers, like the like, I don't even know what to call it. The party blow. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Angel numbers and yeah. I'm really grateful to have the amount of wisdom and knowledge and be surrounded and feel supported for my guides, from my spirit team, and to see these synchronicities and to be able to communicate with divine about all it is I want. Okay, I kind of want to be meditating like as I turn 22. Is that weird? Maybe. I just want to take a few grounding breaths. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. It's my birthday. Wow. How exciting. Oh my God. I love my birthday. I used to cry every year on my birthday. We'll see if I cry this year on testosterone. I don't know if I cried last year. I think if I cried last year, it was tears of joy. But every year growing up, I would always have like some sort of traumatic situation on my birthday that let me like cry because I was upset or sad or depressed. But that's also just February being a winter month, I think. A lot of people have been depressed this week. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about this. The first few minutes of my birthday. I am welcoming all the blessings and the miracles, and everything is always working out for me, even greater and more magnificent than I could have ever imagined. With harm to none for the greatest and highest good of all. And that's my birthday wish for myself. Oh, I guess some people say if you share your wish, it's not going to come true, but that's my intention. It's not my wish. That is my intention. So thank you all for listening. I'm gonna continue this episode another time, so that there's more content. I don't think I'm just gonna keep this as a short episode. I think I want to talk a little bit more about other things, but it's my birthday. It's not my birthday anymore. If you're watching, you will see that I am wearing what appears to be a wet t-shirt tied around my head, and a different flannel than what I was wearing previously. It is now February 15th in the evening, and I a week ago. Oh my God, it was a week ago today that I was literally filming / recording the first part of this episode, because my birthday was last Thursday, and I filmed / recorded the episode, the beginning of the 4th episode. I recorded the beginning of this episode from Wednesday night to Thursday night, like over midnight, which if you're listening right now, you know that. I'm just recalibrating my brain to what was in this episode. First, let me give you some birthday updates. I didn't cry. Hooray. I almost did, though, but not because of anything going on in my life, but because I saw a play on my birthday. I saw a show called Secret in the Wings. I don't remember the name of the playwright right off of my head, but I had a lot of friends in this production, and I went to go to their opening night on my birthday last week, and it was an awesome show. But anyway, what other birthday updates do I have? I don't really remember what I talked about in episode 1. Like, I've listened to it a little bit, just because I go back to edit. I just shook my laptop, so if you're watching, like, you can see that. Let me see. I talked about like angel numbers and synchronicities and starting testosterone. Oh my God, I was gonna talk about something in specific right now, but I feel like with birthdays, a lot of people ask you on your birthday, oh, do you feel older? And on my birthday last week, I didn't feel older, but the day afterwards, I felt older. Like, I don't know, this profound thing we call age. Like, I did feel older. I do feel older now than I do last week. And I am, so it makes sense. But usually I don't, like, feel older on a week-to-week basis. But I definitely do. And I don't necessarily know how to articulate that right now. But that's something that I can name that I'm feeling, even though I don't know really how to describe it. But yeah. Oh, I was going to maybe grab my journal, and I definitely journaled. So let me tell you what I did on my birthday. So I tried to accommodate myself and let myself sleep in the morning, but my body naturally woke up at 7 in the morning. Like, I think it's because of the medication I take in the morning, but I didn't wake up with an alarm, but my body went, "Good morning, it's your birthday." And I usually don't sleep very well the night of my birthday. I was born in the middle of the night. And I just find, I don't know if it's like the anticipation, if my body knows that it's my birthday. I don't know what's going on, but at least in recent years, and as long as I can remember, like in middle school and stuff, whenever it was my birthday, I would always wake up in the middle of the night, or like I couldn't stay asleep, or I would have a hard time falling asleep. And so that's why I decided, I was like, whatever, I'll start episode 4 for the podcast. Because I'm not going to, like, I already know myself, I'm not going to sleep that well anyway. And I slept fine, but I just didn't sleep much. You know what I mean? I wanted to sleep in longer, but I had a beautiful first class, which I was still late to, because the train was delayed, but whatever, c'est la vie. it is what it is. I made it to class like just after it started. I didn't miss much, but then after that class, I had another class where my class, this class is called Embodying the Character. This is a really awesome, amazing class, and it's in paired with a class called Alexander Technique. And I'm not going to get into what that is. You can Google it, or if you already know, you know it's this awesome awareness of the body and how it works in not in alignment, but in organization with itself. That's the best way I can describe it right now. But embodying the character, this class we were basically discussing like ways that we can embody characters and like what different senses are like in the physical, emotional, mental. So we went on a field trip, and this wasn't because it was my birthday. I should say this was unrelated. It just happened to also be my birthday, and we did this in class. Like this had been planned for the week. We went outside on a 20-minute walk to see some water and observed. It was a silent walk there, silent walk back, and we observed the texture and the how like all elements of this water and what we noticed and observed, and also on the walk like the air and smoke, any smoke we saw or exhaust, because we're in the city of Boston, so it's like there's smoke happening, whether it's cigarettes or joints or cigars or smoke from a building or exhaust from a car. Like there's just airs everywhere, and sometimes you can see it. And when you can see it, my professor or my instructor, they were just like, hey, like notice people smoking, like that's smoke, that's air. And we also observed the brick and the ground and the trees and the plants and the plants that were dead, the plants were alive, the birds. We saw a cardinal. Oh, we saw a cardinal on this walk on the way back. It was so divine. And I woke up in the morning of my birthday and I said, it would be really cool if I saw a cardinal and a hawk today. And I didn't see a hawk on my birthday, but after my birthday, I think I saw a hawk every day, like in this last week, whether it was on a card or whether it was in the sky. I definitely saw a hawk every day this last week. Wow. I'm just like piecing that together in my mind right now as we speak. Oh, I should also give context to why I said my hair was in a wet towel. I never addressed that. I feel like I should address this. I'm drying my hair after getting out of the shower. I have curly hair. I find that if I dry my hair like this, the curls look nice. And I don't know, I didn't put any product in it. I just washed it, and now I've like tied this cotton t-shirt around my head. And they say that cotton t-shirts, and I don't know who they are, but the people with curly hairs that post on the internet and articles and magazines always talk about how like you always want to use like a cotton towel or microfiber, but a cotton t-shirt works pretty good, I find, for my hair. And if you're listening and you don't know what I look like, my hair isn't curly in a sense that it's like super tight coils of curls, but it's curly in the sense that if I wash it and take care of it, I have these really nice like spirally curls, but I don't even know how, I haven't measured them, but they're like not wide curls, but they're like, I don't know, it's like not wavy, but it can be wavy. If I don't take care of it, if I don't wash my hair, the oil will like straighten my hair. And so if I have it up or in a ponytail or whatever, like it looks wavy or straight, like it doesn't look super straight, but like it's wavy and it has volume to it. But that's, I don't know my hair type. I don't know if it is a type of curly hair. Like I don't know if it has a category, but it's curly. It's not straight. I grew up thinking it was more wavy, but I think I just wasn't giving it the. Actually, you know what? Like it was pretty wavy for most of my life, and then once I was in like I think the summer before 8th grade or the summer after 8th grade, I don't remember. Something around a summertime in 8th grade, I remember my hair started curling, and I was like, what is this? But I love it. I love my hair. Anyway, context to that. And I'm just wearing another flannel. In the beginning of this episode, I was wearing a different flannel. I don't know if I addressed that either. So, anyway, but my birthday, we went to observe water in this class, and it was awesome. And then after, I someone I recently started dating came to say hi to me. But before they did, I didn't plan to see them. We had talked about maybe hanging out. But I had also talked with a few friends about hanging out after I got out of class. But I just went to um, the Public Garden in Boston. If you're familiar in the Boston area, I went there to meditate, and it was delightful. It was really awesome. I had some really profound meditations in the public gardens when I used to live like 10-minute walk away. Um, my sophomore year of college, when I lived off campus, I was like a 10-minute walk, if that, I don't know, 10-15 minute walk from the public Boston Gardens. I was really downtown Boston for a year, and I would go meditate, and that's where I like not met my guides for the first time, my spirit guides, but that's when I started doing more spirit guide meditations. Is I would meditate, just lay on a blanket underneath like a willow tree, and it was awesome. So I haven't meditated there in a while. I haven't like gone back there in a while. So I went there and I just meditated, and it wasn't really cold, but it also wasn't really warm. It was supposed to rain all day in the evening, like after 4 p.m. Um, but I think I manifested for myself that it didn't rain when I was outside. Like it drizzled a little bit at one point. Um, but I set the intention. I said, for the greatest and highest good, like the rain isn't going to affect what I spend outside. And it didn't, which is like so awesome. And like, sure, you could call that a coincidence, but like it said on the forecast all day that it was going to rain at like from 3 p.m. on to like 11 p.m. all evening. And like, maybe it did, just not where I was downtown, but anyway. Anyway, so I went to meditate in the public garden. I get a text because I had talked with the person I'm seeing. Like I texted them. They were like, "Where are you?" Because I was like, "Oh, I'm out of class now." And they were like, "So what you up to for the next whatever?" And I'm like, "I'm just hanging out. Like I might go outside. I have a space booked. I might just go lay down, take a nap. Like I don't know." Because I had dinner plans with a different friend before seeing this play, because we were going to see the play together. And so this person I'm seeing texted me and was like, "Oh, where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm right by, this train stop." And yeah, just like, "What about you?" And they were like, they had an appointment, or I'm not going to get into it. I'm not, I don't want to give too much of that away. But, and like, obviously I'm going to ask the person that I'm dating right now if I have consent to share the story. And if they say no, then I'm going to cut this out, and you will hear me saying that I'm cutting this part of the story out. But anyway, they texted me, "See you in 10." And I was like, I had like just finished meditating, and I was like, "See me in 10? Oh my gosh, like they're going to come visit me all the way down here," because they were not close to where I was in Boston at this time. They were like within the Boston area, but not like nearby. So they took a train, the subway, and they came to say hi, and they were like, "I'm not really in a talking mood, but I just like want to hang out and see you," because we hadn't seen each other in like over a week, maybe 2 weeks at this point. And I don't know, we haven't been seeing each other long, but we told each other, in an ideal world, we're both really busy people, but in an ideal world, we would be hanging out multiple times a week. So we really like each other, want to spend time with one another, but we haven't been able to see each other. So I really appreciate that they went all the way to come see me, just to like see me. And they weren't like in a super talky mood, but I'm also like, when it comes to love languages, or whatever, I say it like that because I think love languages are like made up, and everybody needs different things to love. But like, it's also not made up. Like, it resonates with me, but in the sense that, like, what's your love language? You can only have one. Like, no, I have all the love. Like, I I show and receive love in like all the love languages. You know what I mean? It depends on the person, the situation, the circumstance, but a quality time and physical touch are two of my biggest ones. Like, an acts of service. Like, if somebody, but like acts of service in a way that, like, if I like want or need help with something and somebody helps me, I'm like, oh. But like physical touch and a quality time are, I think, my biggest two. Um, but also like words of affirmations is up there. But like, again, mostly like specific things. Like, I'll usually like ask for specific words of affirmation. Um, because sometimes if somebody tells me a compliment or something, my brain will be like, they're just lying to you. And like, I know that that's not true. And like, maybe I don't know that it's not true. Maybe it is true that they're lying to me. But why would someone lie and compliment me? Like, that's a waste of their energy. So I don't need to believe that people are just lying to me. But I used to. Um, so I'm trying to unlearn, these intrusive thoughts, but releasing that, I gotta ground myself after the letting, like, giving energy to even thinking about that. But anyway, that was really nice seeing this person and just like hanging out, and we went on a walk, and like, oh my gosh, I saw these really cute dogs and I pet them, and I was like, it's my birthday, I'm gonna pet these cute dogs. I mean, I asked the owners, I was like, can I play with your dogs? And these dogs were so cute, and they wanted all of the pets and to throw the ball back and forth, and it was awesome. And then my friend, who I was planning to go see the play with, met me. So then I went to this awesome restaurant. I don't even know the name of it, and we were just kind of walking in Chinatown, and there was a bakery and a restaurant, and I got some tiramisu. Yum. One of my like favorite cakes, I would say. And I'm not a favorites person, but tiramisu, if it hits good. You know what I mean? But I definitely took a dairy pill for that. I'm somebody who, I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast. I have like dietary restrictions, not necessarily like I'm allergic, but like it's been almost, I think maybe over 4 years now that I have cut dairy out of my diet for the most part. Like, I'll have the occasional birthday tiramisu or cookie or um, ice cream, frozen yogurt, whatever. Like, if pizza, like cheese. But I have a lot of non-dairy cheeses and pizzas that I eat now. But like, if there is something that has dairy in it that I really want to eat, I'll take a pill, like a Lactaid pill, and eat it. But anyway, I also am pescatarian and like very, very rarely will have chicken, but sometimes we'll have chicken, but mostly pescatarian for the most part. And I stopped eating red meat. I stopped eating dairy maybe, it's over like 6 years now, maybe over 7 years. That's a long, that's a long time. Oh my God, that's a long time. Interesting. I didn't even realize that. And then I stopped eating red meat like 4 years ago now. Wow. Patting myself on the back. It's definitely not an easy for everybody to make that switch, but red meat was just like hurting my stomach, and the thought of eating it like freaks me out. But I will say, I don't eat pork. Like, I count pork as red meat for the most part. But if there is a nicely, like, traditionally made lumpia with pork in it, that is my guilty pleasure secret food. Like, not secret food, but like, oh my God. Now I'm just thinking about lumpia. Like, yum. Oh my God, it's 11:11. Oh, I love that. And I was talking about angel numbers in the beginning of this episode. But yeah, then I went to see the play, and it was awesome, and everybody did such an amazing job, and the set design, lighting, costumes, everything was just amazing. And I feel so honored to say that I like know of or know the people who worked on or were in the show. Um, like, such an amazing cast and crew of people. But that's besides the point. So I had an awesome birthday. Like, yeah, I was kind of exhausted and tired, and I didn't do anything like out of the ordinary special to celebrate, but like I still did. Like, I went and got dinner with a friend, and like I had dessert and saw a show. Like, yeah, I would have done that on any other Thursday night, but like, I don't know, it was my birthday. And I wore a new shirt that I had never worn yet because I thrifted it like over the winter break, like in January, I think I thrifted it. And I had it for like almost a month, and I hadn't, or over a month or so. I don't know. I don't remember the date that I got it, but I hadn't worn this shirt yet. But my chest was taped last week. I binded my chest with some trans tape. Um, and I like the way that this shirt fits when my chest is binded. I don't like the way that it fits if my chest isn't binded. So I haven't worn it yet, but I kind of, this shirt kind of rocked, y'all. It was a button down and like a long, I don't have many like nice long sleeve button downs that aren't like flannels. Like, these aren't, not like, I can't wear this. This is like my dad's old flannel. Like, I can't wear this to like a job interview or audition or whatever. But this button down that I wore was really nice. And it was awesome, like, to wear it out for the day. But I didn't even wear it for the most of the day, just like in the evening, because and in the morning when I commuted to my campus, because my other class that I was taking, like the classes that I took on Thursdays, like, they're movement based classes. Like, I have a dance class in the morning, a tap class, and then embodying the character, we do like a physical warm up in the beginning. So it's like I was in movement clothing, like I wasn't even in the shirt, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that was my birthday. And I guess I just wanted to update and give y'all the scoop on what I did. And I plan to have a little celebration. And I'm inviting over a bunch of my friends to just come paint. And if they want to drink wine or smoke a little weed, or have some edibles, whatever, like, it's going to be a vibe. Like, it's an excuse just for people to come hang out and paint with me. And if they want to be a little inebriated, if that's legal for them, then they are welcome to do so. I'm obviously legal 22, so yeah. So I'm excited for that. So that's what I'm going to do to celebrate my birthday. But like, it's very belated because February is a month, like, there's, oh my gosh, I wanted to talk about Black History Month, and I still haven't done that. So holding myself accountable, I'm will have more resources and stuff available in the description of this podcast. I don't know if I can do it. I'm still figuring out like uploading it to like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening to your podcast right now. I don't know if there's a way to like link something in the description to like look at some more resources or some places to donate or organizations to donate to, or some articles to read. I read an article earlier this month talking about like why white people need to stop using the word woke. So maybe I'll link that. I feel like a lot of people take Black History Month as a time to like capitalize on the fact that they are like anti-racists, versus actually like doing research and like sending and like helping educate themselves and their friends, especially if they're white. Like, I think what I have understood is, as a white person, I have so much power, well, duh, but like power in talking to other white people about Black history and educating them. Because if a Black person is telling them about it, if they, if they're a racist white person and they haven't worked on their internal biases and inherited racism, they may not take it seriously, they may not listen, or they might listen, but they might not actually like process it on a subconscious level. But if a white person is talking to them and telling them about it, they might be like, "Oh, wow, I never knew that before. Are you sure that's true? Are you serious about that? You're not joking me?" Like, that's just something that I've talked about with some people and have kind of seen when I'm talking to my relatives and people who like aren't aren't educating themselves and taking the time to really understand all of the whitewashed like erasure that has happened in Black history in the United States specifically, but like globally around the world. Um, yeah, so I definitely want to talk about that more, but I'm like, no, I'm like just about to end this episode because I'm tired and it's late and I need to go to bed because I have a 10 a.m. class tomorrow. But I just wanted to make sure I said that before I forgot because it's February and February is Black History Month. Um, and as somebody who lives and exists in a white body, it's important for me to spread that message. You know, Black Lives Matter. And if you disagree with that, then what the hell? Like, you are you still racist? It's 2023. Like, yes, racism is within our society. It's like engraved in what we learn and whatever, but like you're going to actively be racist in 2023? Like, huh? That's so lame. Like, come on. You can do better than that. Um but yeah, so I wanted to say that. And I also just want to say, like, I just want to, I was going to read from my journal really quick. So I'm going to do that and then end this episode. I don't know how long really quick is going to be, but we'll see. If you're watching, you'll see that the camera may have shifted, but I have my journal. And this is what I wrote on my birthday at 8:41 a.m. Listen to your intuition with a big exclamation point. Pop into childlike space, or tap, not pop, tap into childlike space. Dare to believe in the possibility. Truth can be disputed. You are able to live in your truth safely. Your belief is far more powerful than anything else. So this message was channeled to me through Carla Lune Ascension on Insight Timer. A little bit about them. They are a psychic, spiritual teacher, yoga teacher, and mentor. And they channel a group of higher dimensional light beings, which they refer to as the Blue Team. Yeah. Lune Ascension. So that was part of the message that they channeled for me on my birthday. But what else? What else? You are allowed to shift timelines. You are allowed to choose whatever you want to believe. And then I wrote, I celebrate my achievements and move forward fearlessly. And then when I was meditating at the pond, it was a pond, like at the Boston Gardens. Like there's like, it's a river, but it looks like a pond a little bit, the way that this garden is the way that it's like crafted. I don't know how to say that. So I said, I am grateful for. I don't even know what this word says. Like it's in cursive. I think I'm grateful for wisdom and relaxing in the public gardens. I'm grateful for being alive. I love living. I've had so many spiritual moments here in Boston. All I desire is already mine. I wrote that down. I love my life. My vessel is safe, I wrote down. And that's what I wrote on my birthday. That's what I journaled. And I just wanted to share that, like some affirmations, that it's like okay to love your life and to be okay. And another message that I channeled that I feel called to share here, I did share this on Insight Timer the other week, but I channeled this on the 12th of February. I didn't write the time down, but I wrote, all is well. Keep doing the things. Celebrate and be proud of how far you've come. You've gone through so much. Be still and be patient. Don't lose hope or faith, and trust all is working out even more brilliant, magical, greater, and more magnificent than you could have imagined. Than you could ever imagine. All is well. And that's what I wanted to leave you with. I also think I'm really close on deciding a name for myself. So that's really exciting. And I need to meditate on it a little bit more. And I've already told my friends to start using this name for me. I'm still figuring out how I want it to be spelled, but it's time for me to go to bed. Thank you so much for listening to this birthday special podcast episode of Context. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Make sure you're drinking lots of water and taking care of yourself. And even if that is just by taking it breath by breath, knowing that whatever it is that you're going through will pass, and you've made it through so much already in this lifetime. And you're going to make it through so much more. And it all is well. But yeah, that's it for today. And next up on next episode, I have a list of things I want to talk about, like deciding to start testosterone, and I wanted to talk more about hysterectomy and periods and dysphoria and learning to love my body. Maybe talk about daily pleasure practice and affirmations. And then I was going to maybe talk about things in my childhood, calling out me being trans or neurodivergent, and things that are like tough for me executive function wise. So I was like going to maybe talk about that in the next episode. Maybe I won't get to everything on that list, but I just want to give you a little taste of what I have like planned to talk about for this podcast. So if I don't talk about it in the next episode, I'll definitely talk about it in the future. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Peace out.